Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we are jumping straight into the legacy of a literal legend of the Indian Army. We're talking about a man whose name became totally synonymous with high-altitude courage. We're looking at the life, the tactical brilliance, and the absolute bravery of Colonel Sonam Wangchuk, a man known to history as the Lion of Ladakh. Right, let's set the scene. Picture this. It's May 1999, right in the middle of the Kargil War. You are standing on freezing mountain peaks at 5,500 meters. For a little perspective, that is over 18,000 feet up. The air is dangerously thin, you're navigating a treacherous glaciated expanse, and then, out of nowhere, you are completely ambushed by enemy fire. Seriously, how would you even react? It's almost impossible to comprehend stakes that extreme, but this is exactly the situation where we find our subject. Section 1. The Lion of Ladakh. Now, you've probably heard of the Maha Vir Chakra. It's India's second highest award for gallantry in the face of the enemy. It is an incredibly rare honor strictly reserved for acts of exceptional courage. Well, Wangchuk's unparalleled bravery during that frozen ambush is exactly what earned him this medal. But, to really grasp how he got to that icy ridge in the first place and how he had the tactical fortitude to survive it, we kind of need to rewind. Moving on to Section 2, Roots and Early Inspiration. It's actually super fascinating to look at his youth, mostly because he moved around a lot. Born on May 11, 1964, in the Sankar suburb of Leh, in Ladakh, his early years were highly nomadic. By the time he was 5, in 1969, he was off to Solan in Himachal Pradesh. Then, 1973 brings another move to Dharamshala. Eventually, by 1975, he lands in Delhi, where he's educated at the modern school Bar Khamba Road, eventually earning a Bachelor of Arts in History from the University of Delhi. Constantly changing environments like that, it definitely shaped a very adaptable young man. And here's a wildly interesting detail about his time in Dharamshala. His father was actually serving as a security officer for the 14th Dalai Lama. Because of that unique position, young Sonam Wangchuk literally had close personal interactions with the Dalai Lama early on in his life. It's a pretty amazing contrast when you think about the intensely martial path his life was about to take. So we have a classic crossroads here. His father had a very specific dream for him, become a civil servant, a stable, highly prestigious career. But his own personal inspiration, it pointed in a completely different direction. He was deeply inspired by a relative of his, Colonel Wangchuk, to join the Indian Army. He chose the military, a decision that would absolutely alter the course of his life, and, actually, the course of the Kargil War. Section 3. Forging a Soldier. When you look at his progression, it just screams seasoned leader. After attending the Officers' Training Academy in Chennai, he was commissioned as a second lieutenant into the 4th Battalion of the Assam Regiment. From there, he racked up some serious operational experience. We're talking serving as a company commander in northeast India, deploying to Sri Lanka with the Indian Peacekeeping Force, and finally making his way back closer to his roots when he was posted to the Indus Wing of the Ladakh Scouts. Which brings us to Section 4. The Kargil War ambush. Okay, remember that number I asked you to keep in mind at the beginning of the explainer? 5,500. Again, that's the altitude in meters. Then Major Wangchuk was tasked with leading a column of the Indus Wing to occupy a ridgeline on the line of control. The mission was crucial: preempt enemy occupation and stop any infiltration. But honestly, trying to do anything in a glaciated area at 5,500 meters pushes the human body to its absolute breaking point, even without the threat of combat. So on May 30th, 1999, things go south fast. While navigating towards the line of control, his column gets suddenly ambushed by enemy forces firing from a higher vantage point. Right in that initial burst of fire, a non-commissioned officer of the Ladakh Scouts is killed. The entire column is pinned down. But, and this is key, rather than retreating, Major Wangchuk holds his men together. He leads a daring counter-raid on the enemy position from a flank. He literally turned a deadly, chaotic ambush into a legendary counterattack. Section 5. Gallantry under fire. That flank attack? It was a total game changer. It became the very first successful operation of the entire Kargil War. He neutralized the immediate threat, killing 2 enemy soldiers, and his team recovered a heavy machine gun, a universal machine gun, plus a massive amount of ammunition in stores. Taking on tremendous personal risk, he didn't stop there. He successfully cleared the Chorbet-Tabat access all the way up to the line of control, completely removing all enemy intrusions in that specific sector. When you actually hear the official words from his Maha Vir Chakra citation, it really cements the sheer magnitude of what he pulled off. Quote, exceptional bravery and gallantry of the highest order in the presence of enemy fire and in extreme climatic conditions. That citation hits the nail on the head. He didn't just fight the enemy, he fought the mountain, the crushing altitude, and the freezing glacier. And he won. On to our final section, legacy and final honors. Honestly, it is stunning to see the sheer volume and variety of decorations he earned throughout his decades of service, spanning all the way from 1987 to 2018. Beyond the Maha Vir Chakra, he was awarded the Operation Vijay Star and Medal for the Kargil campaign. You also see the Siachen Glacier Medal and the High Altitude Service Medal right there, which are just incredible testaments to his enduring capability in the absolute most unforgiving terrains on Earth. His impact was so massive that the highest office in the country stepped in to honor it. On August 21, 2017, the President of India, Ram Nath Kovind, officially released a documentary called Lion of Ladakh. This wasn't just a generic film. It was specifically made to honor and preserve the story of the troops under Wangchuk's command who successfully repelled those enemy forces from Chorbotla. Tragically, though, the story of the Lion of Ladakh came to an end just a few months ago. Colonel Sonam Wangchuk passed away from a heart attack on April 10, 2026. He was 61 years old. It was a massive loss of a true hero who dedicated literally decades of his life to his country. So I want to leave you with this thought to ponder. As we look at the incredible arc of Colonel Sonam Wangchuk's life, from a boy speaking with the Dalai Lama to a major charging an enemy flank at 18,000 feet, what does his story actually teach us? For me, it's a masterclass in resilience, the raw power of leading from the front, and maintaining absolute focus under fire. It is a legacy of courage that is for sure going to outlive the man himself. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep exploring.